Most of you are all certified to a management system. In every management system, there is a requirement. Clause 9 talks about performance evaluation, where we are discussing about monitoring, measurement, analysis. The word KPI we used in our organization. Some organization call it as process measures. Some call it as KPI. But when it's come to railway business management system, KPI plays very important role. If you're already familiar with IRIS certification, you might have faced the requirement of KPI. People who are in the process of implementing IRIS certification, they are working with their own KPIs. So this particular training is focused on IRIS specific KPI requirements. So during this training, if you have any specific questions, doubts, worries, you can always interact with me through this chat box. If you are attending this training from your office or your factory, if more than one person listening this session sitting in the same room, I request try to maintain the social distancing. Hope you are wearing your face mask. So let's start with the introduction about our organization. We are from Nucleus Consultant. I think 50% of the participants are already aware about Nucleus. 50% are pretty new. We are into consulting, training, auditing services. We are more into sector-specific management systems. Sectors like aerospace, defense industries, they have a series of standard, AS 9100 series of standard. We provide training, consulting, auditing on this standard. And also we do NATCAP accreditation for aerospace and defense industries on multiple commodities. Similarly, automotive industry having their own standard, IATF 16949, we provide consulting training to the standard. And also core tools training feeders. Then coming to the railway industry, we do IRIS related awareness training, IRIS related implementation training. And there are core tool trainings in IRIS that also we do. And of course, medical devices, there is a standard. We provide consulting training services to the medical device industries. And other sector like telecommunication, oil, gas, so multiple sector specific standards are there. We provide training, consulting on these standards. And there are general standard, quality management, environmental management, health and safety management, information security. So we provide multiple management systems, even food safety management system, social compliances, laboratory accreditation. These are all some of our portfolio. And myself, I'm Karthi Tyagarajan. I am practicing management system for past 15 years. I'm more into sector specific standard. I'm more into this 4 sector, aerospace, railways, medical devices, and laboratory accreditation. We did around 8+ companies for IRIS certification. As on today, if you look at IRIS website, there are 72 organizations, 72 sites are certified for IRIS. Out of this, 8 companies are consulted. We did IRIS for those organizations. So this is our small introduction. So we'll move into this training today. What we are going to discuss is why this training, what is the purpose, scope of this training, then what is IRIS requirement related to KPI. So we have a standard ISO TS 22163. In the standard, what exactly the requirements of KPI, that is what we are going to discuss. And most of you might have aware, or you might have came across, there is a standard IRIS rules. Previously, it was called as IRIS rules. Now it is IRIS certification conformity assessment. In this particular IRIS certification conformity assessment, there are some requirements on KPI. We are going to highlight that also. And the end of the session, we have a Q&A. This training is designed such a way to cover the standard requirement, to cover the conformity assessment requirement related to KPI. That's what the primary focus in this session. So I would like to keep it more interactive way. So in between, there will be some online forms will be shared to you. You need to respond to this form. So I will be considered that as an attendance for the participant who are actively participating the session. There are two forms I will be sharing. One is when starting the session, there will be a form, initial form, and end of the session, there is another form. So this is what this whole training was structured. Even this morning, we have a session on AS 9100 product safety. I think we got some repeated audience who were attended the session. You are also attending here. For this introduction section, for you, it's look like replication, but for there are other new participants. Since railway business management system is pretty new to us, as on today, I mentioned there are only 72 sites are certified in India, but a lot more are going to come. We can see some momentum in IRIS business management system in coming years. So why this training? Why this free training? Every Saturday throughout this June month, we have session. Each 2 session we have on each Saturday, morning one session, evening 4 to 6 one session. So the purpose is just to reskill, upskill ourselves. That's the whole purpose. And we are selected only few topics. We did an online survey in our social media sites, which topic you would like to attend. So these are the 2 topics under IRIS. Most of the people have voted for 2 topics. One is this KPA. The other one is requirements management. That is the next session. I think whoever registered for this training, you have received an email as well as WhatsApp. The training calendar is available. So from that you can choose yourself relevant topic and you can attend. The link is same for all the trainings. So what we are going to see today, that's what I have mentioned, IRIS standard requirement related to KPA and IRIS conformity assessment requirement related to KPA. At the end of this day, you clearly able to understand why we need to do KPA, when we need to do KPA, who is going to do this, for which department KPIs are applicable, and how this KPA needs to be compliant. That's what we are going to address in this training. So before moving into this KPA specific requirements, let's start ourselves with the basics about ISO TS 2263 IRIS certification. What is this IRIS certification? Let's hear from the participant. How many of your company are certified for IRIS? If your company is certified for IRIS, you can just respond in the chat box. Simply say yes or no. I will take the count. If you are certified to IRIS, just say yes. If not, you simply say no. I'll take that as a participant survey. Yeah, most of, I could majority of people from IRIS certified organizations, and few are not. Thank you. So let's start with some basics. We all know what ISO is. ISO is an organization who creates international standards. There are 2 bodies who develop standards. One is national standard bodies and international standard bodies. In addition to that, we have industry standard bodies. The standard bodies are developing product standard as well as process standard. One such famous process standard is our ISO 9001. This is nothing but quality management system. There is a technical committee, ISO TC 176. They developed our ISO 9001. You might have seen different type of industries are certified for ISO 9001. This is purely a process standard, which is generic, applicable to every size type. What happened one point of time, every industry started flow down this ISO 9001 certification requirement to their suppliers. They believe that they are going to get quality product from the suppliers because they are certified for some system. Because the entire ISO 9000 purpose intent is customer satisfaction and provide quality product which meets the customer requirement. That's the intent. But what happened after some time, people found that ISO 9000 doesn't address industry specific issues or sector specific issues. So every sector, they have come up with their own standard. This particular pattern was initiated by automotive industry. Initially, big three people, they come up with QS standard. Later, ISO came into picture. They have developed ISO TS 16949. Now it is converted, modified, and the new version we have is IATF 16949. This is industry. They have developed the standard for their own automotive industry. All automakers, along with trade association, they have jointly have a forum, International Automotive Task Force. So they have developed standard for automotive industry. They have developed quality management system standard for their industry. The same pattern is being followed by aviation, space, and defense industry. IAQG, International Aerospace Quality Group, they have developed standard for their industry. Then medical device, ISO TC210 developed the 134 standard. Telecommunication industry, they have developed TL9000 standard. Oil gas industry, they have developed their ISO 29001 standard. The same thing is now appeared in railway sector. Initially, UNIFI is an organization. It's typically European Railway Industry Association. They have initially come up with the standard IRIS standard. So what this sector specific standard does is they took ISO 9000 as a base standard. They took entire ISO 9001. In ISO 9001, they have added industry specific requirement. So initially UNIFI have created IRIS. Now IRIS have been replaced by ISO TS. There is ISO itself formed a technical committee. 269 ISO TC 269. So they have developed our ISO TS 22163 standard. Then along with the IRQB, International Railway Quality Board, UNIFI have launched IRIS certification. So this is what about the sector specific standard. So what is this ISO TS 22163? When you say IRIS certification, it consists of two requirements. One is the standard, ISO standard, ISO TS 22163. The other one is conformity assessment rules. This is the rules made by UNIFI, IRQB. So how to conduct IRIS audit? There are some rules available. So this entire IRIS certification scheme is supported by all stakeholders in railway business. When I say all stakeholders, there are three major stakeholders. One is operators. Can you give me some example of railway operators? What name comes to your mind when you say railway operators? Railway operators. Who are all our rail operators in our country? Do you know any rail operators in our country? Typically, IRCT is here. Typically a website, right? Website and catering organization. We do have our railways, right? Indian Railways, Southern Railways, they are the rail operators. Typically, who operate the rails. And there is another important stakeholder, system integrators. I think you are well aware about this system integrators. They are the Alstom. Now Bombardier itself now acquired by Alstom now. You see Siemens, Bemel, Hyundai, there are multiple players you could see. These people are called as system integrators. Then another important stakeholder are equipment manufacturer. So this equipment manufacturer gives the rolling stock railway signaling products to the system integrators. System integrators assemble it and they have delivered to operators. So operators run the railways. So this is the important three stakeholders. All these three majority stakeholders are part of this IRIS certification program. So that is what I said. This is the standard developed by the industry for the industry. So the whole purpose of IRIS certification is to create a culture of quality across the supply chain. Again, if you consider today's morning session whoever attended, I have asked some specific question. How many components goes into an aircraft? What is the lifetime of an aircraft? You can apply same questions here. If you consider a rail, how many products goes into a rail? Plenty, right? And what is the lifetime of a rail? From your childhood when you go to your native, what is the train you have traveled? Now, after we have grown so much, right? Still the same train is running, right? So what could be the lifetime of a train? Can anyone tell me? Forgot about the recent metro coaches. Look at our Indian railways, Southern railways, Northern railways, Eastern railways, whatever that, the same coach, right? We have grown so much, but still the coaches are durable, reliable. So they need to have some quality, right? That quality needs to be flowed on across the supply chain. So we are thinking too much, 70 years and all. If you properly maintain, it can run, but every product has its own life cycle, right? When designer designing any product, they will be considering something in their mind. It can vary railway model to model, coach to coach. I could say 30 years, right? We can consider 30 to 35 years. There are developing countries who can use it for 30, 40 years. There are developed countries, they won't retain it so much years. They will try to keep it life cycle 15 years, 20 years. It depends on the government economic policies. But you have to consider these two important factors. One is the plenty of component goes into it, and it has a long lifetime. And there are three important major stakeholders, right? Operators, system integrators, and equipment manufacturers. Now, people who are all certified for IRAS, you are delivering your product, your services to this equipment manufacturer, correct? You are making a system or subsystem, a rolling stock, which goes into the equipment manufacturer, or you may be act as a equipment manufacturer. You deliver your product to the system integrators. So this entire program is managed, supported by these industries. So I have mentioned there is an organization called as UNIFI, European Rail Supply Industry Association. Along with this, we have IRIS steering committee members, then rail operators. In steering committee members, we have all the system integrators, all the key equipment manufacturers. So these three players only developed our IRIS assessment. ISO TS 2216 standard is developed by the ISO technical committee. There, these people are also having the representation. Apart from that, there are national standard bodies who represents that. If a company wanted to claim that we are IRIS certified, they're supposed to follow all these three tools. One is the online tools. This is technically optional tool, but there is an online website available. You can explore this if you want. People who are all certified, their name, which location they are certified, which product they are certified, everything is listed in this online portal. There is a website, most of you might have aware, but I would like to write it here for the other participant benefit. There is a website called as iris-rail.org. If you visit this website, lot of information you could see. Plenty of informations are available. But this site itself managed by, run by this steering committee, IRQB and UNIFIS. They maintain the online database. So as a company, if you want to practice IRIS, if you want to continue your IRIS certification, if you want to implement IRIS certification, you need to follow this two important requirements. One is the standard ISO TS 22163. The other one is IRIS certification conformity assessment 2020 rule. This is typically rules. Even though this is meant for certification bodies, but there are some key requirements as an organization you need to understand. So it is better, advisable, you need to get this document along with the standard document, try to explore both the document and start implementing it. That is the best way to implement railway business quality management system in your company. And these are the some of the IRQB members, International Railway Quality Board. So have you recognized these companies? I could see there are some participants, few are the participants from these companies, some of the companies. Or you are doing business with these companies, or you may do business with them, your future customers, you could see that. Here a combination of system integrators, equipment manufacturers are there. Can you name your customer? Have you seen any of your customer name in this list? So which means your IRIS certification decision your IRIS audit report may be accessed by these members. Because they are running the entire IRIS certification program. Even though they may have their own competition, but when it's come to IRQB, they'll be more focused towards promoting the quality culture within the railway quality management system. That is what they're doing. Right, there are plenty of players. I think now everyone having their presence in India because of the development, lot of changes in the money we are spending on infrastructure that calls for a lot of new thing in railway sector. Clear? And this is what one big picture we need to understand. So ISO have their own technical committee, right? This technical committee take care of representing the standard. So they have a member from IRQB, they have a member from ISO through national standard bodies across the globe. So they take care of what goes inside the standard. But if you look at this operator, these are some of the example of operator. Unfortunately, our Indian operator is not part of this. But there are plenty of integrators, equipment manufacturer are part of this. I think we could see their representation in our country. So all these three major stakeholders are part of this. So they are running this program. So with this context, we need to approach the requirement of KPI. So remember, when you want to practice, when you want to get certification for IRIS, it is mandatory. You need to follow standard plus this particular conformity assessment rules. Is that clear? Up to this, any questions you have, please? You can use chat box to raise your queries, questions, if any, up to this so far what we have seen. No, sir. There is no more revision 3. IRIS, initially it was, see, I'll tell you, when initially Unifi take care of the IRIS publication. Now they have released only IRIS standard. Now what happened? IRIS revision 3 is now replaced by ISO TS 22163. If you look at this title, what it say? It is a first edition. Correct? So they have reset the number. Is that clear? Any questions? Yes, sir. Not in India, in other abroad countries, operators are insisting IRIS certification. In European countries, many other countries, they are technically the standard IRIS standard. What when we say IRIS, we call it as IRIS certification, but the standard is not a revision 3. Certification is revision 3. When you follow this plus this, it is called as IRIS revision 3.1. If you look at your certificate, IRIS certificate, if you even go to IRIS website, you can understand this. But the standard is first edition of ISO TS 22163. So if you combine this both, you will get this. And there are some rail operators in Europe and USA, they are, as part of their contractual requirement, they will flow down this requirement to the integrators. They should have IRIS. Of course, integrators has to flow down the requirement to equipment manufacturer, and they have flowed down the requirement to you. That's why you have went for IRIS certification. Or as part of your business strategy, if you want to do business with these players, you need to have IRIS certification. That's how the certification decision is taken by the small, medium enterprises in the supply chain. Yes, it is very much possible. Without ISO 9001, you need to go for the straight away IRIS, but you need to struggle a lot because the standard calls for ISO 9000 basic requirement plus IRIS specific requirement. So you need to practice the entire requirement. This is not like other management system. When we walk through this IRIS certification conformity assessment rules, it has a lot of complex requirement. You can, there is no restriction. Straight away, you can go for IRIS also. That is very much possible. Okay, so let's move into our topic today. KPI, key performance indicator. So how this is connected with IRIS standard, what we need to do. So let's try to figure it out. In your organization, I'm sure you have KPI, right? Instead of KPI, you may have some alternate name also. You may have process measure. Some company call it as process measure. How do you name this in your company? You call it as KPI or process measure or departmental measure. How you name it? Can you please type in the chat box so that even other participant also get benefit of it? How do you name this? Are you call it as KPI? Or you call it as process measure? Or you call it as a departmental objective? How you named it? Measure of performance. Yes, there is another terminology now industries are using MOP. Very good. What else? Performance objective, right? Every organization having their own terminology. But CTQ may be specific to quality. But what we are discussing here is key performance indicator of a process. Typically, it is meant to process. Sometimes KPI, you may have it for product also, project also. But CTQ is more related to a characteristics, right? But here we are talking about process specific. Very good. Now, try to discuss this now. Typically, when you will establish KPI, when, what is the triggering point? When you can initiate KPI? Tell me. When an organization can establish this KPI, when? What do you think? When we are initiating a new KPI, okay, let's create a new KPI. When? Yes, when you are implementing a management system. When you go for some certification, when you are planning to practice a management system, so that time you can establish. That is one option. What else? In what are the other circumstances you will initiate a new KPI? When you are dealing with a new project, any new project is assigned to you, do you think you want to establish KPI for that project? When you get a new customer, the customer wanted you to, for example, a customer comes and says you need to have a zero defect for this. Do you think the zero defect will become a KPI for you? Customer specific require. Very good. That is another. There are multiple input for us when you will initiate a KPI. Our organization can decide on their own. Okay, so this year we will improve something. Let's launch a new project. You have your own choice. Now, who will establish KPI? Who will initiate this KPI? Whom do you think establish this KPI? MR. Then top management, right? It's very good. Top management, because they are primary accountable person, right? Top management, MR, sometimes process owners also, right? Because they have to understand the process. So they will, the approval is obviously top management. But who within your company, who will establish? Yeah, customer will give you some input, but who will establish this KPI? And how they will do it? They will document it somewhere. How they will communicate this KPI? Okay, this is for quality department KPI. How they will internally communicate? What type of evidence you have? Whether this is being documented, where you are documenting all your KPI? Through your manual, right? You have some documentation. How you name the document? Is it called as manual? Or you call it as procedure? Or you call it as SOP? Somewhere you are documenting it, correct? Yeah, every organization, balanced scorecard. Yes, that is another good way of demonstrating this KPI. Very good. So this is how right now we are practicing. Nothing new here. So what to discuss, how it is different in IRIS. So we will discuss. So before going this, so I will be sharing a link to you. This link will be act as a attendance for you. And I will consider this is for your participation, and the same will be utilized to issuing this training certificate to you. So I'll be sharing this link. I'll give you 5 minutes to update this. Can anyone confirm? Have you received this link and this link is working? Yeah, thank you. So I'll give you 5 minutes. Please try to update this link. So we have a focused group of participants. Majority of them are already IRIS certified. So let's try to hear from them. So if you have a difficulty to access this link, copy that link, try to open it in another browser instead of Chrome, or check your Mozilla or Internet Edge Explorer, some other browser you try to attempt. For others, it is working, right? Yeah, I have seen some responses already. 9 people have responded. Yeah, the last two questions is subjective. That is why it's so strong. So don't worry about it. The score doesn't indicate anything. This is just an attempt you are making. That's it. So out of 31 participant, I have received 16 responses. I'll wait for 20. Once the response reached 20, then we will proceed further. So there are 17 participants have responded. How about others? If you have any difficulties accessing the link, let me know. Okay, so the first two questions, can you able to see the correct answers, whether the answer is visible to you after completing that exercise? Can anyone have confirm that? You could see that, right? Thank you. So many times the interpreting term is very important. These are the typical terms we use in our business, day-to-day business, right? Efficiency, what is efficiency? What is effectiveness? What is monitoring? What is measurement? Sometimes we are confusing with this terminology in its application. So that's what the purpose of this exercise is, to refresh ourselves with this terminology with correct interpretation. The last two question is completely subjective. That's why we are having this training, right? So thanks for the response, whoever attempted. So now 18 people have responded. Still, few people have not yet attempted. I assume you have some internet issue or you cannot access the form. Since we have a very limited focused participant, I need at least 75% of response, attentive response. If other participant any difficulties, please let me know. And accessing this form, filling this form. I'll be sharing that form one more time. For other people, they can able to access it. Maybe your system may have some issues. I have typed that one more time in the chat box to try to make an attempt. Right. So let's focus this KPI requirements. So this is the definition given in the IRIS standard itself, ISO TS2216 itself. They have given what is key performance indicator. This is the indicator selected by the top management. This is very important terminology, but many times what will happen? Who will select the KPI? It is always the MR, correct? It is always the process owner. They can select, but it should be a joint effort. The final decision authority on selecting KPI is always with the top management. So why they have to select KPI? This is an indicator to evaluate performance of your BMS. You are running a business management system. Whether the business management system is effectively performing or not, I need to evaluate. How I need to evaluate? This is what the indicator. This indicator shows whether my business management system is effective or not. Customer satisfaction is one of the indicators. That is not the only indicator of our business management system. See, remember this word, we are talking about business management system, not customer satisfaction management system. Right? The word business is pretty huge. It is not just limited to customer satisfaction. It goes beyond that. It talks about your operational efficiency. It talks about your cost performance. It talks about on-time delivery performance. It talks about cost of poor quality. There are plenty of aspects where customer satisfaction is one of the indicators. Is that clear? Fine. Let's split this terminology further. What is key? What is performance? What is indicator? There are plenty of indicators I may have for business, but what should be the key for my performance of business management system, which is important, which is most important? What do you want to achieve from this business management system? When you are implementing railway quality management system, you have some objective in your mind, right? You have some intent behind that. What do you want to achieve through this management system? For that, what is most important? That is what key is. Performance, again, it is only related to performance when it can be clearly measured, quantified, and which is being sensitive to improvement by your company. That can only considered as a performance. Everything is not a performance. When you say performance, it should be measurable. It should be quantified. Then indicator, it shows where is the trend. Indicator is always fact based. You cannot assume this. Right? Get the data. Then it shows where exactly the trend is going. Are we in right direction? It gives some early signal, early warnings. So this is what are the three important terminology: key, performance, indicator. I'll give you one simple example. You need to tell me whether it is KPI or not. So one company have written in their document saying that my KPI is number 1 signaling product company. I want to become number 1 signaling product company. Do you think is it a KPI? Tell me, do you think is this a KPI? Look at the definition and tell me. Don't you think is it important? Let's go one by one. Do you think is it very important to evaluate my BMS? It fits the first word, right? Do you think is it important or not important? Number 1 company in the signaling product. Is it important to a business, right? Tell me, is it, do you agree with me or not? Is it important or not? Right. Then can you able to measure this? Can you able to quantify this within your organization or to compare with your competitors, to compare with your market share, whatever? How you are going to measure this? How you are going to quantify this? There is the trouble. That is why you straight away initially when I asked the question whether this is a KPI or not, you initially rejected. Okay. Now I'll give you another example, another KPI. You tell me whether it is a good KPI or not. First of all, whether KPI or not. My KPI is 0 defect. Do you tell me is it a good KPI? Do you agree this is a KPI? Someone said no. Okay. Once you walk through the entire session, you try to interpret in a correct way. Thanks for your immediate responses. And this two word you have already attempted in that exercise. Many people are mixing this two terminology. Efficiency is always connected with the resource. Effort. How much effort, how much resource you spent. Correct? Effectiveness, we all know whether the planned results are achieved or not. Planned activities are realized or not. So if effectiveness doesn't have any reference with respect to cost or resource, whereas efficiency particularly focusing on effort and resource. That's the interpretation. So you have to produce product, you have to deliver your service, you have to provide your solutions to railway business effectively, efficiently. For that purpose, you have a lot of processes, you have followed your procedure, you have matured your system, right? When it's come to KPI, the successful KPI is always depends on how effective you deployed your process, how people are aware about, whether people have skill, knowledge on these processes. That shows the success of your entire process. We already discussed KPI must be always made by top management, approved by top management. But when you make KPI, when you prepare KPI, have you considered internal, external stakeholders? Who are all your internal stakeholder, external stakeholder? Can you give me some example? Let's start with one word, internal stakeholder. Who are all your internal stakeholder? You want to define KPI for purchase department. Let's take simple example, purchase as a process, right? Purchase department. Tell me who will be the internal stakeholder for purchase department? Warehouse, quality, production, internal. First focus only internal stakeholder. Very good. Unfortunately, no one have indicated finance. Why? Do you think finance accounts are stakeholders? Don't you think? No one have mentioned that, right? You need to suppose to consider that also, right? How about top management? You have to consider, right? That is what the interpretation. You have to consider relevant, not every stakeholder, relevant stakeholder. Perfect. Legal also, yes, that's another good point. Perfect. Now come to external stakeholder. Can you give me some example for external stakeholder for purchase? When you define purchase KPI, you have to consider internal as well as external stakeholder. Tell me who will be the external stakeholders? Customers, vendors. Very good. Then regulator. Yeah, authorities. Perfect. Very good. Then shareholders. Very good. How about bankers, insurers? Third party agencies. That's what this standard is called as business management system. Now you can connect the dots, right? We are not just talking about customer, we are talking about business. So when you define KPI for purchase alone, look at how many stakeholders come to your mind. But generally what we do, we leave this only to MR. MR can decide the KPI, or a consultant like us, we will try to figure it out something, because we don't know about your business, right? It is your business. You have to say whatever comes to our mind on that day, on that time, we will say something. IRIS have mandated, but what is your business wanted? IRIS says minimum KPI. What is that KPI? It doesn't say. It simply say you should have KPI. You should have KPI for customer satisfaction. What is that KPI? You should have KPI for on-time delivery. What is that KPI? That clarity we should have. Clear? So try to determine the internal, external stakeholder. The stakeholder analysis is one of the big process in IRIS. It is not in the standard technically. If you look at IRIS assessment rule, conformity assessment rule, there they have talked about stakeholder analysis. So try to understand the needs and expectation. We simply call it in ISO 9000 and other standard in 4.2, needs and expectation of interested parties. That plays a vital role in IRIS KPI determination process, right? So while determining KPI, please consider that. So what standard says? This is the standard shall require. In 9.1.1.1, they have a precise requirement for KPI. What it says? It says, first of all, you have to identify your KPI, establish the KPI, implement that KPI, document that KPI. And this KPI should be based on to improve your process, to improve your product, to improve your service, to improve your project. So you try to understand difference between these four terminology. Can you give me some example of processes? What do you mean by processes? In your business management system, what do you mean by processes? Yes, we simply call it as departments, right? We call it as departments or functions. This is our local language, what we use, right? What are the process we have? What are the departments? Standard using the word process at various places. Product, of course, your scope, right? What you are returning in 4.3, scope of certification. What is your railway product? And what service? Some company do product, some company provides service. And what is the project? There is a separate class, now project management, any railway project, right? So this is what it is. Is that clear? So your KPI must, there is a shall requirement, right? Your KPI must, you have to monitor, improve performance of all these. Most of the time we are pretty clear about what should be the KPI for processes. How about KPI for product? How about KPI for project? Everything we have to consider. This is a simple requirement in the standard. Now tell me, what are the processes needed for your business management system? There are a lot of processes a company is needed. Can you name some processes? You already listed, but look at railway business management point of view. You are going to manufacture a rolling stock. Let's take example, you are making HVAC. You are making electrical control panel, something you are going to make. That is your product. What are the processes you should have? There are different processes we need to have. Let's go by the flow. What is the first process do you think needed for your company? Top management, right? You can always start with your top management. That is the first process typically you have to think, right? Then we need resources, right? HR you may have. Then whom you want. Okay, let's move into operation. Now we have people, we have money, right? So what we'll do, marketing people will search market and try to get the RFQs. Then this RFQ needs to be managed, project management is needed. Then what else? Then the project management document will be converted into engineering or design team is required. Do you agree with me? Right? Yeah, the marketing may also take care of tenders. Very good. After that, we will procure the material. Then production. Then quality has to check this. Then this needs to be stored, logistic, dispatch and all. These are the majority processes, right? And you need machineries to be maintained, and you need maintenance department. Like this, you keep on adding lot of departments. And there are some support function. You need IT, you need finance, right? Admin, yes, HR and admin, you can consider it. So whatever needed for your business, first of all, you have to identify. But if you walk through IRIS standard, railway business quality management system needs some processes. When I asked initially, someone means there are 22 mandatory processes, right? This is what the list. There are some process mandated by IRIS, shall requirement, we call it as. There are some process, optional process. This is should require. Which means many people are again misinterpreting. We should have a 22 procedure. Each process should be a procedure. No, not at all. You can club a few processes and call it as one process. It is your organizational process. There are two words we are using. One is process needed by your railway quality management system. The other one is process needed by your company. For example, this risk management, this internal audit, this non-conformity corrective action, all these three are managed by one process. You can say it is managed by my QMS team, or MR will manage it. You can say it is your choice. There is no mandate. This process should be separately identified, separately documented, separately managed. No, there is no such requirement. This need not to be considered as an individual process. You can merge this process. It is up to your choice. In some organization, this tender management, this requirement management can be managed by one team. What is the structure you have in your company? These two are all handled by one team or different team? Tell me. Tender management and require management, who is handling in your organization? Is it the same department, or you have a separate team for this? So every organization having their own style. So you need not have a two separate document. Okay, tendering procedure, requirement management procedure. There is no such request. Standard says this process are required. It's up to your choice. You can merge and keep it a single process, or individually you can call it as a process. It's your choice. But these are the processes required by railway quality management system. And what standard says in 9.1.1.1, you need to have a KPI for processes. So you need to prove that you have a KPI for your own company processes as well as railway quality management system processes, which means, now I'll put this way straight away. FAI is a process, right? Everyone agree as per standard. First article inspection is a process. Now tell me, you must have a KPI for FAI. Is it mandatory to have a KPI for FAI? I took only one example. Out of 22 mandatory process, I have selected one process as an example. Now you have to tell me, for this FAI alone, for this FAI process alone, I must have a KPI. Do you think, is it a correct statement? Maybe this FAI part of your quality process. It's up to your company decision. You can merge this FAI. You can merge this control of non-conforming product, and you can merge even what else? What can fit under quality? A special process validation, right? You can merge all these three. You may have one procedure or one process called as QA. For this also, you should have KPI. That is very important. You should understand. Is that clear? And same thing is applicable for optional process. Even though it is called as optional process, but you, for your organization, have adopted this process in your organization, then you must have KPI. You cannot say this is optional process, so I don't want KPI. You cannot say that, because your business management system have considered this as a process. Then you must have a KPI. Is that clear? So don't have a different treatment. For mandatory process only we should have a KPI. For optional process, there is no requirement to have a KPI. No, you are wrong. You should have. Okay. Now, I asked one question. How many mandatory processes? Even though 22 mandatory processes are there in IRIS, but typically there are 5 mandatory processes. Every time you need to prove for performance evaluation in every audit. It is for certification body, I am telling. Yes, Susmita, you are correct. Every process, there should be a KPI, but you can combine more than one process and you call it as one process and you can have one KPI. It is your choice, right? Don't go by numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. For example, 22 mandatory process means I should have minimum 22 KPI. That is a wrong interpretation. Clear? You can merge 2 or 3 processes and you can have a single KPI or common KPI. It's your choice. Now look at here. In every audit, either a certification audit or a surveillance audit or recertification audit, every audit, a certification body needs to review the performance, need to evaluate the performance of this 5 mandatory processes. Even though IRIS wanted you to keep 22 process, but within this 22, these are the 5 mandatory process. Every time your certification body auditor needs to review. This is what IRIS rule says. What are the processes? One is project management. The other one is requirements management. Then purchase process. Then design and development. Then production. Some company, they may not do design. For them, it is only 4 mandatory processes. If all 5 processes are applicable, then every audit, every time, your certification body auditor must review this 5 mandatory processes for their performance evaluation. They have to review KPI for this 5 process. They have to give scoring for this 5 process. Every time they have to do it. I'll repeat. If design is not applicable, only 4 processes applicable. If design applicable, then you need to do all 5 processes. Clear? This is what the difference between this 22 mandatory processes and why standard saying another 5. What is the difference between this 22 and 5? This 22 is needed by your company. This 5 is used in certification body art. Clear? Any questions on this? Why this number become suddenly 5 and suddenly it's increasing 22? That is the reason. And if you look at this important thing here, quality is not there. Have you recognized it? We thought the quality is very critical process, right? But in performance evaluation under operation, you can consider it, right? So this is not for the organization. This is for IRIS auditors. When you do third party audit, that time it is important. For us, your business management system, whatever the process you need, it is your decision. So number of process, it is your choice, but ensure it is fulfilling all the requirement of IRIS. That's it. So they have even given a table. There's a knockout question in the initial audit they will do. So which are the processes? KPI is mandatory. Which are the process? KPI is recommended. Which are the process is mandatory? There are some table available. If you look at, you came to know here, look at this. Class 4, 5, 6, no mandatory KPI. Look at this. Even not even any recommended KPI. Planning. But under 7, there are some, even if you look at this 7 up to 7, there are some process requirements mandatory that. So look at this up to class 4, 5, 6, 7. Have you seen any KPI? I will come to you. What is the difference between KPI and quality objective? I'll address that definitely, right? So now look at the screen and tell me, in class 4, 5, 6, 7, there is no mandatory or recommended KPI. Why? Can anyone tell me why? What could be the reason? As a company, you can have, because you're supposed to have a KPI for every process. But why IRIS is not mandated? Why? Can anyone tell me? Why? Because remember this all these five mandatory process coming under which class? 8, right? That is the reason. Realization. Very good. That is what you need to interpret. But as a company, you are free to choose your own KPI. But if you look at 8, there are a lot of mandatory KPI. Purchase, design, there are recommended KPI here. There are recommended KPI here. In 9, there are some mandatory KPI because you have to check and act. So this is what the structure is. So there are some mandatory KPI, there are some recommended KPI. There are mandatory process, there are recommended process. So this is what all about. Now coming to the standard. What IRIS standard says in 9111, the company must collect data relating to reports of internal and external technical failure as per your own criteria. This is given in suddenly 9111. Sometimes people get confused. Why this is addressed in this class? Because this is directly connected with your KPI. So your KPI must address this also. One of your KPI should be internal technical failure and external technical failure. What is this defined criteria? What is the methodology? You have to have your criteria. How you will collect the data? What is the threshold? What is the acceptable error? How many technical failure will accept? This is connected with the MTTR, MTBF, RAMS, LCC. This is one requirement which is given in 900. Then it says each KPI, someone have typed KPI should be smart, right? This is what indirectly they call it as. Standard is not using the word smart, but they call it as shall requirement. Each KPI, every individual KPI must be related to, you need to clearly say which process this KPI is related. I'll tell you one KPI, tell me this is applicable to which process. We all know the famous KPI is customer satisfaction. Now tell me this KPI belongs to which process? In your company, you have various process, correct? Various department. Now tell me this KPI belongs to which department? Customer satisfaction. Just because, see, we are getting mixed answers, right? Somebody says project management, somebody says marketing, somebody says quality. If you list it, we'll give it to all department, but it should be specific to applicable processes, right? That is a shall requirement. You need to clearly document that. You have to, when you define a KPI, you have to be very clear and precise. This KPI must specify belongs to which process. If you say this belongs to all process, then you are wrong. You cannot say that, correct? So go and relook your IRIS system, go and relook your KPI. Each KPI must have a KPI process owner. IRIS makes it very clear. Now, process ownership. There are some classes in the IRIS standard. You are well familiar with this. Process owners, they are responsible to meet the KPI. So this goes to which process? Have a clarity on this. You need to say which process. IRIS does not say customer satisfaction goes to whom. You have to say it. Yes, each KPI must have all, you need to answer all this. Then that is called nothing but action plan. Mudmal. Your shall, look at the word shall. Each KPI must specify this KPI belongs to which process. How this KPI is going to be calculated? What is the formula? What is the target? And what is the period to achieve this target? In your company, who provides this KPI measures? Who responsible for this? Provide data to you. When this data is reported, whom you are going to report? If the target is not achieved, this target is not achieved, who is in charge to take action? Everything should be defined. Unfortunately, many places it is not defined. People are assuming. Standard says shall define, shall specify. Now look at the screen. If you have any questions here, now you got clarity what it is. Each KPI, you cannot simply say a KPI in one line. Your KPI should be My customer given a target to maintain 50 ppm. That is my KPI. But you need to answer all this question. This 50 ppm KPI goes to which process, which department? Tell me, which department? Quality. Okay, in your company, you assign this. Okay, I have given this to quality. How you will calculate? Is there any formula for ppm calculation, parts per million? Define the formula, document the formula. You use software or use Excel sheet, whatever it is, document it. And it is a target, right? 50 ppm is the target. For which period? So 2021 to 2022. This is the target. Who gives the data to you? This is quite interesting thing. Tell me, who gives data for this? Who provides data for this ppm? If it is customer ppm, customer has to give. If it is internal ppm, quality inspector or production has to give the data. Correct? How to fix KPI target? That's what initially we have said, na? Stakeholder analysis, internal stakeholder, external stakeholder, discuss them. External stakeholder includes customer. Is that clear? Hanumantrao. The target can be fixed with in consultation with your internal stakeholder, external stakeholder, customer target. Everything you have to consider, then fix a target. Top management has to fix a target. Clear? And when this KPI is reported, there are multiple forums in your company you have. What are the forum? We have management review, right? We have process review. You have a project review, multiple review mechanism you have. You define the frequency. It should be documented. Don't assume things. It should be defined. Yeah, some company have a KPI meeting. That's a very good practice. For KPI review alone, they have a KPI meeting. Some company. You can consider that also. Whom you want to report this? Top management, right? You have to report this to whom? Then finally, if the targets are not met, who is in charge to take action? Again, this process owner has to play a role here. So this much clarity you must have when you define a KPI. Just like that, you cannot handle it. This is IRIS requirement. Still, I have not touched the rule book. ISO TS 2216 itself says this much. IRIS doesn't fix any target. It simply say on time delivery. How much percentage? You have to talk to your customer. What is your customer target? No customer will say you have to deliver 80% on time delivery. They'll expect you to do 100%, but you have to talk to them, get a target. If customer is not defined any target, you check with your internal stakeholders, check with your top management, then top management will fix the target. Is that clear? Some people are misinterpreting the word OTT is not always 100%. I think people who are doing business with Alstom, can you tell me what is your OTT target? What your customer says to you? It may vary product to product, supplier to supplier. Can anyone just type what is your customer target for OTT, on time delivery performance? If anyone doing business with see whether this target is given by your customer or you have chosen on your own. Or you can decide your target and talk to your customer, get their approval. Without their consent, without stakeholder analysis, without internal external stakeholder interaction, you cannot fix the KPI target. They have to interact it. You have to interact with them. Then it should be defined somewhere. There should be some forum. So many places, many railway customers, they flow down the clear targets. Now tell me, have you given target to your suppliers? I will go this way. Your company purchase team have given any target to your suppliers for delivery performance. So you are taking the maximum advantage. Na? You ask your supplier to give 100%. The same your customer also expecting. Na? Yeah, is that clear? So discuss with them, then take a call. IRIS will not dictate what should be the target. It is your organization to decide. You and your customer decide. Clear? Now, your KPI must measure. These are the some of the mandatory KPI: customer satisfaction, on time, customer on time delivery, non-conformities raised by your customer, internal non-conformity, your supplier non-conformity, supplier on time delivery, quality deficiency cost, project cost, requirement management process. From this, what is your KPI? Design and development process. So for this, you must have KPI. I think every company having this. If you not, you need to consider this. Up to this, most of the organization across the either irrespective of the management system standard, they follow, but this is more specific, unique to railway business. QDC is very critical KPI. Shell requirement, organization needs to have this as a KPI. Project cost, project management, right? From that, you should have this. Requirement management is another requirement. So these are the some of the mandatory KPI required by the standard. For each KPI, you should need to answer this. For each KPI, you should have a clarity. What is the formula? Who provides the data? When you will review? Whom you want to report? Everything. Clear? And there are some should require. This is optional KPI, recommended KPI, I could say. Response time on NCs. Response time on complaints. If customer raised any complaints, if customer reported any non-conformity at their end, what is your response time? That can be one measure. Production capacity, including forecasting, you can consider. Resolution time of problem. First article inspection, I have mentioned previously. Downtime of your production equipment, internal audit process, tender management process. These are all recommended. If you want to achieve silver level, gold level, you need to comply recommended level also. In those cases, if that will be your objective, you have to consider recommended objective also. Is that clear? So this is what written in ISO TS 22163. The simple requirements. And also one more places you could see in 9131. If KPI targets are not achieved, you are supposed to take corrective action. This is self-mandatory requirement. Many organizations have received non-conformity, sometimes even major non-conformity from this particular class. Because IRIS mandated a lot of KPIs, and we have adopted some more KPIs for business benefits because organization mandates some KPI, business needs some KPI. So we have a bunch of KPIs. In many cases, KPIs may not be achieved. And at this pandemic stage, I think most of you have great difficulties with the KPI targets, right? So definitely you may not achieve your KPI on this pandemic, lockdown, various reasons, but you must take corrective action, shall require. And this corrective action should be in line with 10.2. 10.2 talks about detailed root cause analysis, corrective action, right? So go and relook. That will become otherwise a bottleneck in your IRIS certification decision. So please spend more time, effort on corrective actions when KPIs and the targets are not achieved. And we already discussed when you want to review your KPI, there are multiple options you have, but standard itself mandated few processes. One is during project review, project related KPI, you can review. In management review, you can review all KPIs. In process review, you can review the process KPIs. So you have options within the standard itself. So you decide which forum, which KPI you want to review. Who are all the participants? What is the agenda? You decide it and do it. Right? So now coming to IRIS certification. Let's stop here. Up to this, any questions? This is what requirement is the standard. Any questions up to this? Up to this, you are clear now? Yeah, FAI sample simple. First time through. First time through is the good KPI for FAI. If you submit FAI, without anything, FAA should be approved. That's it. Clear? Or you can go for supplier FAA. Same, you can slow down. There are two ways of FAA you should have. One is your FAA to your customers and your supplier FAA. You can keep it. Okay, let's look into IRIS standard. What IRIS certification conformity assessment talks about the KP. What it says, during stage 1 audit itself, they will verify whether mandatory KPIs are first of all addressed. Otherwise, you cannot proceed further. Stage 1 audit fails. So ensure before going for readiness review, all mandatory KPIs are addressed in your business management system. Yes, Mr. Bikash, TL 9000, the system is not yet adopted here. They have more advanced measurement system. Yes, you are correct. But there is no benchmark and all here. Instead of that, instead of comparing with other competitors or a similar product category within the organization, here transparency, consistency will be monitored. Based on that, certification decision will be taken. Silver level, gold level, and all KPI playing a vital role. Okay, so during stage 1 audit, mandatory KPI must be addressed or not. That's what they will verify in the audit. During every certification audit, we have identified 5 processes now. For all these 5 processes, all mandatory KPIs are reviewed. This is for certification body decision rules. In the rules, they have mandated. We all know IRIS certification is based on this scoring system. And these are the 3 major pillars in that scoring system. One is enablers evaluation in line with the requirement of the ISO TS 22163. The second one is customer perception. The third one is process performance to performance evaluation. These are the 3 scoring pillars. In this, as part of one important pillar, customer perception, the conformity assessment rules mandated that you must have these 3 mandatory KPI. One is customer satisfaction. The other one is customer on-time delivery. The third one is non-conformities raised by customers. All these 3 mandate. There are multiple mandatory KPI in the standard, but what will happen in your IRIS certification audit or surveillance audit? These 3 mandatory KPI must be verified, and they will giving some score. Every audit, certification audit, stage 1 audit, stage 2 audit, everywhere. And they will be giving scoring. So what you need to do is at least one KPI you must have for each of these 3 areas. I'll repeat this wording. You must have at least one KPI for customer satisfaction, one KPI for non-conformity, one KPI for OTD. For which process? 5 process, which means you must have minimum 15 KPI for this 5 processes. Is that clear to now? All this is related to customer perception. This is written in IRIS rules. Many people have not explored the IRIS rule and they have just followed ISO TS 22163 and they may end with some trouble. So that's what you need to explore, this requirement also. When you during customer perception audit, at least one KPI related to customer satisfaction, one KPI related to non-conformity raised by customer complaint technically, and one KPI related to OTA must be there. And you go and relook whether you have all this KPI. When I say KPI, remember that word. You should have clearly connected. This belongs to which process, who is responsible, how to report, what is the formula, everything should be answered. Right? So during audit, certification body auditor will review this. Yeah, the final decision is the CB. CB has their own rule. They will recommend and UNEFI will grant it. So your each KPI will be measured for real value during the audit period. For example, last year they have audited and the continuation will be verified by the next year surveillance audit. So you have to maintain that transparency. Ensure you are meeting all your customer targets, internal targets. If there is any contradiction between this, then you are in trouble. So these are all the specific requirements. Typically, certification body auditor use this way. Even KPI itself, the effectiveness are measured. Look at this, A to E. E means what? KPI is not completely documented, established, there is no KPI, straight away you are done. The next level of measurement, D. KPI is there. KPI is there, but KPI is not regularly indicating the expected performance. The performance is not good. Then you are in trouble. KPI is there. KPI is not regularly indicating the performance, expected performance, and you are taking some corrective action. Here you are not even taking corrective action. So this up to this, what is this? Shall requirement. This is mandatory, right? If you are not doing, it is a non-conformity. Your KPIs are not met the target, but you have taken some action, which means, okay, KPI is there. You are monitoring regularly. You could see a good performance, and you cannot demonstrate in line with the customer target. Customer wanted some target, but your internal targets are achieved, but customer targets are not achieved. Still, it was somewhat okay. And this is what you are fulfilling your internal target, you are fulfilling your customer target, and trend is good. Then this is what the very good system. Based on this, they will be rating your KPI. And this is the template certification body going to use in their audit reports and all. So each KPI you have to give a number, who is your customer, internal or external, what is the KPI definition, what is the target, what is the measured value, what is the trend where it goes, right? Positive or negative, and they will conclude. This is what used. Score A means all perfect. So based on this, they will assign the mark. So this is what written in the IRIS certification rule. Based on that, your scoring number will come. Based on that, your decision, silver, bronze, that is taken. So consistency, transparency is very critical in KPI. So let's discuss some best practices. Okay, how effectively we can have this KPI best practices in our organization. So try to understand there should be a strong connection between stakeholder needs and expectation and their requirements along with your KPI. There are two words you need to consider. One is conformity, the other one is effectiveness. Both are matters. Then only you can claim your process is good. But ultimate focus, of course, you have to fulfill all your customer needs and expectation. So if you want to achieve silver, you should have a clarity on KPI. That is a basic prerequisite. As of now, gold certification is not opened. Right now, only silver level is opened. They will soon open gold. The scheme itself not yet launched for gold. It's going, they are about to launch it. I have already repeated this many times, right? Keep it, transparency is very important. Where applicable, use some software. Now, many industry use have automation tools, right? Even IRIS standard itself asked at various places, you have to use some computer application software or simple Excel sheet with some formula, you can have it. So there you cannot be able to reinvent the wheel, right? You need not to reinvent the wheel. Everything is, you just feed the data, you get the results. Some SAPs, ERPs, a lot of SaaS tools are available, right? You can explore those options. Where possible, try to automate it in long run, to try to automate this KPI trend charts and all. So that misinterpretation, manipulation can be avoided. These are some of the best practices you should follow when it comes to KPI. So this is the typical, even IRQB, if you visit IRQB website, they have published a guideline for KPI. In that guideline, they have given this picture. They have mentioned there are 3 key pillars in effective performance management system. What are the 3 key pillars? Processes, KPIs, periodic management cycle. If you have this, you can have a strong performance management system. You can confirm all your IRIS requirement related to KPI. So what is this? What they are recommending? First of all, you should have a well-defined process. Hope every organization have a turtle diagram, right? Try to make a connection in turtle itself. What are your KPI? And your KPI have a clarity. This KPI is for effectiveness or this KPI is for efficiency. Consider it. Define KPI, answer all those questions. Which process it is, what is the formula, who is going to do. There is a KPI template I am going to share in this end of this session. You can use those type of templates if you want. Then define KPI. KPI at multiple levels, organization level, process level. You define it, document it, where possible, try to automate it. Even you can benchmark if you want. So use a lot of automation tools so that it is easy for you to take a decisions. Dashboards, have a dashboards. These are all some more advanced mechanisms. And periodically monitoring this is very important. As we discussed, there is a management review, process review, there are multiple forums you have. And it's not a one-time process, you have to keep on improving. So this is what typical 3-pillar methodology recommended by IRQB. So this is the simple best practice. So first of all, start with your stakeholder analysis. Who are all your internal, external stakeholders, whether all are considered while establishing a KPI. What is their needs and expectation? First of all, is it relevant? Sometimes unexpected or unimaginable needs are expressed by your interested parties, right? You cannot simply accept it, review, negotiate, then decide. After that, derive suitable, that is very important word. Define suitable process KPI. Prioritize here, because there are plenty of expectation. You prioritize which one you want to convert into a KPI. Then define target. This target should be in line with your internal customer stakeholders. After this is launched, periodically measure it where we are. And that is the input for your performance assessment. Yes, every KPI must be monitored, must be measured. Both are mandatory. This is basic ISO 9001 requirement. 9.1 itself, the standard is asking us to do monitor, measure. So remember this KPI related to which process? What is the formula? What is the target? What is the period to achieve this target? Who provides the data to you? When you will review, whom you want to report, and very important thing is who is going to take action if something goes wrong. So you have to, these are some of the mandatory KPI: customer satisfaction, on-time delivery, non-conformities raised by your customers, internal NCs, supplier non-conformities, supplier OTD performance, quality deficiency cost. From your requirement management, what you want to measure, what is your KPI, project cost, design and development, this more related to process. Here they have clearly mentioned what it should be. In requirement management process, what is your KPI? In design and development, what is your KPI? You have to discuss stakeholders and decide it. And these are the optional KPI we have discussed. So this is how this needs to be interpreted. So let's look at this some another thing. A well-defined KPI should be very simple in concept. That is one of the thing you need to understand. Either it try to connect, you try to connect this with either you are focusing quality here or time here or cost. Any KPI you try to connect this with 3. Either it is related to quality or cost or delivery performance. That's it. And try to consolidate your KPI at all management level, not only keep KPI at department head level. Wherever extent you try to deploy it, flow down it, even including managerial level, you can deploy it. And your KPI should be sensitive to improvement. How you are going to measure? What is the timeline? Sometimes KPN can be modified based on the external requirement, based on the targets, right? And it should be auditable. Don't say the data is available. You have to retrieve the data. You have to keep formula very ready. Every process owner who is responsible for this KPI, they should know the formula for this because cell requirement it is, right? Should be standardized. Capable for retrieval. When you do redo this KPI, it should be when you want to retrieve the data, it should give the same result. If you want to redo, otherwise there should be some manipulation, right? So try to avoid the errors. Try to avoid the wrong interpretation of KPI. So better you should have a proper KPI definition sheet. So this is a sample template. Look at this. You can have your KPI template like this. Is it visible? These fonts are visible to you? Is it not visible? Well, I'll make it some big size. Let's see. Look at this. First KPI title. What is the designation for the KPI? For example, defective purchase part ratio. Now tell me, this is connected with what? Quality, cost, delivery. Where it get connected? Tell me. Defective purchased part ratio. Leading title, it is connected to what? Quality, delivery, or cost? Where it connected? Where it get connected? See, we are talking about defect. Defect means what? Quality, right? Right. Yeah, if still you can consider this a QDC, you can connect with the cost also. Very good. Now, what is the purpose or improvement goal? You can have a template like this. So what do you want to achieve by this KPI? By measuring this KPI, what you are going to achieve? So the ultimate objective is to reduce the number of defective purchased parts. So I'm going to reduce the supplier rejections. That is what I'm trying to achieve by monitoring this KPI. Have this clarity. Then this is applicable to which process? Purchased. To which process this KPI measure the performance? It is the purchased. Then who is responsible? Process owner, KPI owner. Remember this word. Who is going to? That's what when I ask customer satisfaction, who is the process owner? I get multiple names. There cannot be multiple names, right? You have to assign some person for this. Head procurement is responsible for this. They are the owner. But what is the formula? You develop a formula. Number of defective part, purchased parts in relation to all purchased parts. You make a formula. Today, this month, I have received 20,000 numbers. Out of this, 4 numbers are defect. You apply this formula. And where is the data available? You can go to SAP, you can go to your GRN, you can go to your stock register, whatever the mode you have. Try to address that. So everything, this is what your KPI template is. And what is your target for this? You fix a target, measurable, quantifiable. You can give color code also. Right? And who is responsible for reporting? And what is the frequency of reporting? You decide. I have assigned a person, purchase analyst will do, or supplier quality will do. Every month they will generate a report and submit. Address that. And what is the reporting part, reporting level? This is the order. First, goods received department share the data to purchase department. Purchase will share it to top management. This much clarity you should have. Or some big corporate level of structure of company, from process owner, it goes to division head or operation head, then it goes to CEO, then it goes to board. If something goes wrong, who is responsible for taking action? Develop it, assign the role. So this much clarity you must have in your KPI. Is that clear? So many times when we go for consulting, when we go for training, we'll ask, So can you give me some sample KPI, example KPI? There are plenty of examples available if you go to Google. But what is most important? Discuss with your stakeholders. If stakeholder itself not aware or not in a position to address this, then you need to relook this class. Which class? Competency. Right? Yes, each KPI you should define. There is a standard requirement. Whenever I put a star, these are all star. This is optional. KPI owner is optional, but it is good to assign. It is better to have this type of format. It is recommended, not mandatory, recommended. Clear? I'll give you some example of KPI related to customer satisfaction. 912, parts written by customer, average customer satisfaction index. Many companies have this as a score, 90%. Timely feedback to customer after survey. This can be a measure. You conducted a survey. After conducting survey, within how many days you will respond to them about their feedback. Like this, you keep and have a lot of examples. Non-conformity raised by customer. Every department, I could give plenty of examples, but it should come from you. Okay. So now we are moving into Q&A session. Now this forum is open for Q&A. You can put your questions in the chat box, or if you want to speak, you can unmute your device. You can raise hand or something, or type. I will unmute your mic. We will discuss any specific questions related to IRIS KPI. Yeah, one question I would like to address initially. What is the difference between objective and KPI? Someone have asked. See, remember one thing. Objective, which stage you are doing, this is under class number 6.2. Objective is policy level document. Typically, this is in line with your policy. You have your organizational quality policy. In IRIS, you have organizational quality policy as well as product safety policy, right? Similar way, you should have a quality objective and a product safety objective. So this is in line with your policy. You are making objective at organizational level. Sometimes this objective can be further flow down into KPI, deployed into KPI. In many cases, your objective KPI may be same, but remember which class it is reflecting. This is at planning stage, right? This is at monitoring stage. Try to understand the difference. So during, as per PDCA cycle, this you are doing at plan stage, and this you are doing at check stage, right? That is the difference. Okay, so any questions, please? No questions. Any questions? Remember these KPIs, these targets. Yes, some KPI may be common, correct? You can have same KPI in multiple processes. But remember, all your KPI should be connected to either quality or delivery or non-conformity cost related. Okay, so what I'll do is now I'll be sharing a course feedback link to you all. So this will help us to improve further, and it's another motivation factor for us. Let's share it. After that, I will share the final course link. Yeah, if you are achieved the KPI consistently, if the organization feels that there is no longer value addition in this KPI, you discuss in your management review, you discuss in your process review, get consent from the relevant interested parties, stakeholders, then you can remove. But it may affect your certification, silver level, golden level. So that's what. Before even deciding any KPI, think twice, thrice, then establish. Once you established, it's like wife. So it's like a marriage. Either you are female, it's like your husband. Either if you are male, it's like your wife. So before take any decision on marriage, think twice, thrice. Once you are engaged, you have to live. Yeah, target, when you fixing KPI, you are fixing the target for the defined period, right? If the period can change, you can revise the KPI target. Again, remember stakeholder analysis. Clear? Yes, Bagma, I will definitely explain each KPI, each department, if you give me time and money. Because this is 2-hour free session, I can able to only do this. Form is not opening. I could see some responses. I think your company IT policy may restrict Google Form, some cases, in some cases. No, you cannot skip. Even during lockdown period, you have to justify, you have to take corrective action because this KPI you have decided to establish for your process, right? So nothing wrong. The KPI target may not achieve, but you have to justify what is your corrective action, what is your contingency action that we can consider. Clear? Yeah, Mr. Venkateshwarlu. Yes, IAS 91 also in 9.1, even KPI, there also KPI, peer, if you IAQG audits are using peer format. Typically, IRIS, this process performance evaluation is also inspired from aerospace standard only. It was already there. You can very much correlate.